Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another preview Q&A show here on All for United. I'm your host, Temi, aka Temi Talks United. Another preview Q&A show, like I mentioned. Everyone make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook with me right now, make sure to go to youtube.com/All for United. Same thing with everyone who's on Twitter, youtube.com/All for United. I have a great, amazing panel with me to do this preview. I have my guy Hama, a regular contributor, as y'all know. I got Rome with me. I got Bob's with me. Man, everyone get in the comments and show these guys some love right now. You know what I'm saying? Show these guys some love. Hey, we want to talk about this AC Milan Manchester United matchup coming up on Thursday. I cannot wait. I'm nervous as hell. I can't lie. I am nervous as hell. Obviously, a very emotional last game versus Milan. You know what I'm saying? Conceding in the last minute the way we did. Honestly, not playing great football. Definitely dominated us. If we're being frank, and they had a lot of players missing. I know we had players missing, but they were missing a lot of their top. No Zlatan up top. No Teo Hernandez. Tonali was coming back from injury. Rebic wasn't there. So I mean, it's definitely wasn't their top side, and they're gonna get some players back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk to the guys real quick. I'm gonna start with Hama as well. You know what I'm saying? Hama, obviously before I even get there, we had a very weird game against West Ham, scored off an own goal, and not a great performance in my opinion. How do you feel leading up into this game, man? How do you feel about our chances? Do you think that, this could be the end of our Europa League run?
No, I'm not thinking like that because if what Ola is saying too, I don't know if I think he's playing up some of it, but I do think we're probably going to get some people back because I saw somewhere that we're going to have like people like Pogba and stuff back too, but I don't know if I believe that. Even if they get their guys back, if we get some key guys back, it's I know they got the away goal, but it's 1-1, and I think this team are in a window where they have it's another window they slipped up on some other ones. I think earlier, probably a few weeks ago or whatever, and last month I think I mentioned on one of the shows that obviously nobody wishes for injuries on other teams, right? But some of the people around us had some key injuries, and that was an opportunity for us to do something, and we slipped up on that. So I think in terms of getting a trophy this year, that I really do think is important with Ole, considering they just gave him a contract too. They gotta go and try to get this win and get into the next round, whether it's this or the FA Cup, we need a trophy.
Yeah, no, big time. I completely agree. A trophy is necessary in my opinion. No excuses. I mean, Ali, we're obviously in second place, which is good considering where we thought we were going to be initially to start the season. But that trophy is also important. Bob, when it comes to you real quick, how do you feel about what happens if we, I'm not trying to be too negative, but I'm going to get the negative stuff out of the way first. How important do you think a trophy is for Ali and, his?
I think.
Go ahead.
I think like any manager. I think for any manager, a trophy is always important. But for a Manchester United manager, it is the objective to win trophies. And he's been with us for 2 years. We've had no trophies. We've had we've had 4 semi-finals, and we've lost them all. So for me, it's very important because I don't know why else we are looking to extend his contract when on show he's not won any trophies. We scrutinize other managers or they've not won anything. Yeah, our own hasn't. So it's very, very key that we compete to try and win one, because what winning a trophy breeds into this team especially is a winning mentality. And with that winning mentality breeds confidence, arrogance. It means that, okay, we've won a trophy. We know what it's like to win one now. How can we go ahead and win another one? And most importantly, for the manager, his first trophy in English football, that's so key and so major. And also will probably keep a certain half of the fan base off his back, and also will probably keep the media off his back. He'll have some credit in the bank. We saw the way when Klopp won the Champions League, you couldn't touch him. We saw the way he won the league, you couldn't touch him, So I just think for me, all he needs to win a trophy.
Yeah.
ASAP.
No, 100%. I completely agree with that. Everyone who is watching with us live right now, we got a good amount of people watching with us. You know what I'm saying? I forgot to say this in the beginning. You guys know this is the Q&A show. Everyone, at the end of the show, like I always do, make sure to drop your questions. Anything Manchester United related, anything, transfers, about the Milan game, anything, literally anything. Think about it and drop your questions in right now. Finally we're getting some comments in here. Jacob, where have you been, man? Hey, where have you been, bro? Good to see you. More importantly, the boards needs to back the manager. We can have a great conversation about that during the Q&A portion. Fred, drop a question for me. Drop a question for me. Bradley, this is a really good comment, honestly. They need to pick their game up. They've been giving the ball away a lot. WTF. Bradley, I see you're on Facebook. Make sure to go to youtube.com/all4united and join us over there. Hit that like button for me, bro. Hey, Rome, I want to go to you real quick. On to Bradley's point. I think the football for the past couple of games, it's been pretty sloppy, in my opinion. I think, specifically in midfield, Fred and McTominay, even Matic against Milan, they've been struggling. Really struggling. I think that a lot of the simple things they've not been doing them. They've not been controlling games. I'll just say it like that. We miss Pogba. We miss his creativity in that deep part of him. We miss his quality. You know what I'm saying? How important do you think it is for our midfield to kind of get their act together, for one? And where do you think Ali comes into that? Do you think this is a tactical thing? Does he need to maybe add another midfielder in there, do something to switch it up? How do you feel about that?
I think it's a 50-50 thing, really. It's partially Ali and it's partially the players. You would think that the quality of players that we have, these guys would be able to just press the X button and pass the ball forward. But apparently it's not as simple as it is when you play FIFA, because Fred and McTominay, the forward passes is the worst part of their game. We know McTominay is not the creative type of number 8 or a defensive midfielder, if you want to put him there. He's that one who gets rugged, gets into a tackle, and he can score the odd goal here or there. Fred is just not a goal threat at all, but his forward passing is so wanting from so much more that it makes our midfield look sloppy. You can tell whenever Bruno has a horrible game in that number 10 position, it's because he's not getting the ball to feet where he should be from our two midfielders in the pivot, and that's always a problem. If you guys remember that chance that Bruno gave to Greenwood the other day, Fred played a perfect pass to his feet, and then he was able to slide Greenwood in. That's the type of plays we need from our midfield. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if Pogba is not available, he is not going to take the risk of playing two people next to each other. You know what I'm saying? In terms of playing a Van de Beek in there when he's fit. In terms of playing Mata right there on the right side, just to give, I've said this before, just to give Bruno that option up there. So it's always being safe and playing those two midfielders in the pivot. And with you playing that safe type football, is always going to be boring. It's always going to be dead, and it just leaves us to fall asleep while they're playing.
Yeah,
that's just sad.
No, I agree and I disagree at the same time. I really don't have an issue with the 4-2-3-1 system in itself, but what you need out of that system is one of those deep line midfielders needs to have a level of creativity to him. You know what I'm saying? Like a Pogba, right? Like you can't have Fred and McTominay in there and expect them to, combat the likes of Rice or Souček, you know what I'm saying? Or Kessie and Mate, as it was, last week, you know what I'm saying? It's critical that you have a midfielder in there that has a creative element, which is, to that point, those in the comments real quick, get your thoughts on that. Ask some questions. How do you feel about that? I think a midfielder is another creative, deep lying midfielder is so important to us. But Hama, comment on the mentality thing for me real quick of the team, the side, the players. Where do you think it's at? I want to get your thoughts on that, and what do you think needs to change to kind of get us over the line in this very important matchup coming up on Thursday?
Well, I mean, it's like what my guy Bob said. He wants to see them win a trophy, and it's an important thing in any team, in any type of mentality for a consistently successful team in terms of doing it year in and year out. And the problem with this team is they don't know what it's like to get over that hump. They don't know what it's like to lift that trophy. I mean, some of them do, obviously, but as a whole, they don't in terms of doing it together. And the reason they need to win one is because they need to get to a point of having a mentality. And it also goes to the players in the team that we're going to bring in. And, you know, we'll have to see who gets brought in. But there's a mentality that needs to get brought into the team that it doesn't matter if you're playing an early cup game against a lower league opponent or you're fucking playing in the Champions League against Real or PSG or Barca or whoever. You got to go in with the same type of mentality. And that's one of the issues with this team. They get hyped for a City game, and then we get a game like we just got against West Ham where we went on an own goal.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. I feel like the mentality thing is I feel like you can question the mentality of this side. There's a lot of times we've let ourselves go in the last minute over the past year. You know, I remember Southampton last season, obviously Milan, just so many instances. Everton, that 3-3 against Everton. Just so many instances where we've let ourselves go. You know, we have to score. We have to score at the San Siro. This next game, it's crucial. I mean, we can't allow a 0-0 draw. We have to get at least one goal. Our front line is pretty beat up. I don't know what Anthony Martial's prospects are to play in that game. I think he's supposed to be fit. Cavani, I think Cavani's potentially supposed to be fit. Let's talk about that front line, Bobs. I think we desperately need Anthony Martial back for that game, in my humble opinion. I know how people feel about him. Oh, he's not scoring enough goals. You know, he's not being creative. He doesn't work hard. All the things that are leveled at him. You know what I'm saying? But I
just think, right, because I went viral and said, "Oh, we should sell him because he's not been playing well," and you know everyone was like, "You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know blah blah blah." No, do you know what? Man United, you need to have an elite striker, and right now we don't have one. An elite central forward. Cavani's brilliant, yes, but we should have got him like 5-6 years ago, or even 10 years ago, whatever. For me, Martial has to play because right now, off the Derby game, he played really well. I don't think we have any other choice to play him. And I think you said something about like the teams and stuff. You know, our team reflects our manager. We don't know what's going to happen. We're always going to concede. I think Martial's got to play. Greenwood will probably play. Rashford's probably going to play. I think, guys, literally, and I'm trying to be as positive as much because on evidence this season, we are not really being given any hope. And we were talking about midfield there. Kessie was linked to Man United a couple of seasons ago. And everyone was saying he's not Man United standard. I saw the social media saying he's not good enough. He bullied our starting three. Literally, he bullied us. So what does that tell you? For me, man, listen, I just hope Martial's got the boots on that he played on against City because that form, the way he played, boy. But also the reason he got to play the way he played is because Bruno wasn't so close to him. Bruno played in a deeper and more disciplined role. So, yeah, man, I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah. No, that's a great point about Martial in that front line. I definitely see your points about Man United needing an elite striker. I would argue we need a lot of elite level things. I don't know who's but back to that point. We do need an elite striker, yes. I think there's a lot of things we're lacking. I don't think Ollie's an elite coach by any means. I think we could be getting more out of our players? Yes. Do I think our players could do more to help the manager? Yes. But that being said, we can't have any excuses on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see finger pointing. We just need to get the job done.
Exactly.
Period. Point blank. You know what I'm saying? And to that point, Rome, I saw a great question in here. I usually don't like to ask the questions for the Q&A, but who would you start in defense against AC Milan? Bayern Maguire have looked far more solid than Maguire and Lindelof as a partnership, in my opinion. This is a very interesting debate point that I feel like we talk about on every fan channel talks about this. like at least 5 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Maguire, Lindelof, Maguire. I think Lindelof should play in that game if he's healthy. I've always said I know people think I'm crazy. I think Victor Lindelof's our best center back. I'm unapologetic about it.
No, I think you're right.
About it. But to that point, if Lindelof's playing, that's saying Bailly's gonna get dropped. And I don't think he necessarily.
Wait, Lindelof's better than Bailly. Is that what you're saying?
I believe so. Yes, 100%.
Here's what I would say.
I don't agree with that.
Here's what I would say to that. I think our best defender at the club is Eric Bailly, right? I think when it comes to a defensive pairing, I think our best pairing is Lindelof and Eric Bailly. When it comes to who our manager will play, he'll definitely play, of course, as we know, Maguire and Lindelof. I don't think Lindelof should play. The two that I would pick is Bailly and Maguire, only because Lindelof constantly plays with back pains. He has this injury that he's been playing with for this time. I don't want that to be a liability, especially in this game. See what I'm saying? Lindelof needs to be benched. He just played in the last game. There should be Eric Bailly and Maguire. And Maguire needs to be punished for that miss that he missed the last game. That's got me nightmares, bro. I'm still recovering from that. Yeah. But I don't want to curse, so I'm trying to be myself.
Okay.
I curse all the time.
I'm going to say work with me, guys, because one thing we know for certain is Maguire is starting.
Yeah, I think Maguire. Look, his last game he played really well,
and he played excellent.
Really well.
He played
dealt with Antonio.
I think that. What did you see Maguire like? Yeah, no, he was amazing. He was amazing. I just don't think he doesn't do that often. I'm letting everyone know that right now. That performance is the exception. It's not the rule. That's my opinion. But anyway, back to the point of who's starting. I truly believe Victor Lindelof should start. Obviously, most people will disagree with me and say Bailly should start, but I just think in that game we just need a better footballer in there, if that makes sense. Like I think Victor Lindelof is a better footballer than Eric Bailly. I think that yes, Zlatan might come back. That's something that might be on the back of Ollie's mind, but it's a tough one. I know people think my opinion on this is very niche, for lack of a better term. I agree with Rome. I think Lindelof and Bailly would be our best partnership, but I don't like talking about that because it's just never going to happen consistently. Like I just know, you know what I'm saying? It's never going to happen at a consistent basis,
For me, I encourage the idea that Zlatan might be back because what that does, it takes so much away from AC Milan attacking because Zlatan is not going to be that forward that's going to be moving around our defenders. It gives us an opportunity to push our midfielders up because the boy that they're playing right now up front, he's constantly running, constantly having our defenders move. Zlatan doesn't have that movement, right? So if you think about if you do play Lindelof and Maguire and Zlatan is playing up front, there's not going to be a lot of movement trying to cut through, to our defensive line because Zlatan doesn't play that game anymore. So we could push our midfielders up, which gives us a little bit more opportunity to create some more. So no. I don't mind the fact that Zlatan plays up if he does.
Interesting. Before we get to our next point or this continued discussion, I just want to put one of the questions that we're going to answer at the end of the show. Fred Woodward always coming with the great questions. Is the appointment of Murtaugh and Fletcher a PR stunt, or is it a clever move that will benefit us going forward? Let's talk. We will talk about that at the end of the show. Everyone, drop a question. Make sure to put Q&A at the front of your question. You know what I'm saying? Put Q&A at the front of your comment and then ask a question. We're going to answer as many as possible at the end of the show. I see Jay Daly in the building here. He said, I'd sell Martial, Pogba, and this in and match to raise funds. Oh, interesting right there.
Maybe on FIFA, but not in real life.
I just don't. I don't see that happening. But yeah, no, that's interesting points here. Fred, another good question. Is this our worst front line in the Premier League era? Definitely discuss that. Very interesting stuff. And forgive me for if I butcher your name. Anirudh ER or Iyer says, TBH, if Ibra is back for this game, I think Maguire is the best fit. His ability to win virtually every header. Oh no! Listen, we all know Maguire's playing. Like make no mistake. Like that is there's nothing more guaranteed in this life than Harry Maguire playing if he's fit for Manchester United. Like that's locked in.
Are we not going to talk about the fact that the ball constantly gets to his head regardless of where he is?
Yeah.
Defense doesn't matter. The ball just gets to his head regardless.
He's got a fucking magnet.
It's interesting. Let's see. I think we can easily get a Lindelof upgrade, but I like him, but he's not a top center back, unfortunately. Should be third. Here's where I think you are so wrong, Fred Woodward. If Lindelof is so underrated by Manchester United. I can't emphasize enough how underrated Victor Lindelof is. Like I wish people saw it the way I did. I feel like
what the problem is, Temi? Do you know what the problem is? Yeah, is that where we went wrong as a football club is, and this is nothing against Harry Maguire. He's too similar to Lindelof. We've all watched football. Centre back is a complement. It's a partnership. Okay. It would be ideal if both of them could run as fast, be athletic, win the ball, do what they do, but it doesn't happen. You know, that elite player isn't around.
I agree. Remember before we got Maguire, remember the season Lindelof had? Everyone was calling him Iceman.
Yeah. 100%.
It's as simple as what Bob's just said, to be honest with you. If you think back to the Vidic and Ferdinand partnership, how well those two complemented each other, which Vidic being that rugged, don't play no games defender, while Ferdinand was that smooth Rolls Royce type of defender where you still can't get past, but he's quick as hell. And you're right, it's all about complementing each other. And the problem is with these two guys, both of them are comfortable on the left-hand side of the defense. Right. And so they just keep running into each other at times. There are a lot of times when the ball's coming across and Maguire doesn't even know where he needs to be. I remember that Sevilla Europa League semifinals. I'm still having fucking nightmares. You know what I mean? So it's all about finding that right defender that's gonna complement each other. Is there a lot of left-footed defenders out there that are as good and needs to be in the Manchester United team?
We'll talk about that. Well, I think here's
none of them are leaders. Just before we segment,
that's
okay.
Whole...
So like, you know, like I know what you're saying about, you know, there's this craze, and I know we've got to go for time, so I'll be very quick. There's this craze about if you have a left-sided centre back, he's got to be left foot. For me personally, I think it's all of the rubbish because Vidic is right-footed, John Terry was right-footed, Ledley King was all right-footed. You played that as a Jamie Carragher as well. So like for me, guys, like I said, they're too similar. Okay, Harry Maguire probably edges him in physicality. However, if you have a fit Eric Bailly, right, who can play all these games, we don't buy Maguire. I don't know why we bought Maguire, but we don't buy another centre back. And I just think that what I don't understand is that Harry knows he's better in the air than Lindelof. So why doesn't Harry say to Lindelof, let me attack the ball? Like, show some leadership. Just say, I'm getting it. You drop. We've all played football or soccer, wherever you guys are, right? For me, like, if the best header of the ball, go and attack it. If you don't win it, he can pick it off. But what I don't understand is that why we both allow them to be in a foot race with strikers when you're not going to win. Sorry, Temi, man. Sorry.
No, you're good. Hey, I'm gonna reconvene, guys. Let's talk to the fans. This is such a great conversation. But real quick, I want to get us to 25 likes. We have so many people watching with us. Everyone hit that like button. I don't know how many likes we're on right now. I'm about to hit the button live. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. We got 20 people watching with us. Yeah, no. Hit that like button. We're on 11 likes right now. Make sure to get us to 25. We have a long way to go in this stream, so we should get to 25 likes. Easy. Let's talk about our fullbacks. I want to have that discussion really quickly. Luke Shaw's been flying. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I love him. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about him as a player. He had a tough game against West Ham. I think that was his worst game in quite a while. How do you guys feel about the importance of our fullbacks in this next game? I think Teo Hernandez should be back, but I'm not too sure. Let's see real quick.
He did play in the last game, so.
Oh, he did. Okay. So he should be back. Yeah, I mean it's going to be really important. I'm gonna throw that to Hama. How important do you think Shaw and AWB are going to be in this matchup?
Well, I think one of the things that I don't think it's going to be controversial because I think if you think about it, it might be actually true. With Tellus coming in on the left side, and hopefully we bring somebody in to put some competition for Wan-Bissaka. Shit, our left and right backs have slowly or secretly became one of our most stable positions. You know, But what I will say for this game coming up is they're really important because I think Shaw going up brings something extra to our attack, which we're already missing some freaking sting in our attack. So we're going to need Shaw to be on his best on going up on the front foot. And then on defense, I mean, I think I said it a couple of shows ago. Wan-Bissaka is one of my favorite players just because I was a center back when I played. And I love slide tackles. I love all that type of shit. So every time I see him do one of his fucking spider tackles, I love that shit. So I think they're really important on making sure we have some protection at the back because especially if they have guys who are coming back and who that they didn't have in the first leg. And then in Shaw's case, we need him to get going up front and getting those balls into the box because with the lack of sting that we have already, we're going to need more and more opportunities just to get a goal.
Yeah, no, I think Shaw's going to be crucially important. One of the most creative defenders or fullbacks in the world right now, honestly. Definitely in the Premier League. Excited to see what he does this weekend. Everyone, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We got a great panel with us. Hama's with me, Bob's is with me, Rome is with me. You know what I'm saying? Very, very great questions I'm seeing popping up. A lot of great questions I'm seeing pop up. We're gonna do our best to answer them to the best of our ability. I seen one from Shady Will. How can we get Martial and Greenwood firing again? What do you think has caused the fall off? Great question. Great question. Would you start Pogba against Milan? Another great question. I think we can answer that right away, honestly. But man, so many good questions, man. I hope we can answer all of them. Another one by Anirudh Iyer. Would you rather splurge the entire summer budget on a striker like Haaland, 120 mil plus, or get Sancho 80 and a ball progressing DM? Great question. We're gonna try and answer that at the end of the show. You know what I'm saying? Everyone hit that like button for me. Drop some more questions for us as well. We want to get as many questions as possible. We're coming up on the end of the preview portion of the show. So I'm going to go around the gang real quick. And I'm going to ask for score predictions and your first goal scorer. You know what I'm saying? Going to be very interesting to hear your thoughts on this. I'm going to start with you. Be as honest as you possibly can. I want no sentimentality in this. I want the real. On the preview Q&A show, we give the fans the real. You know what I'm saying? So, what are you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling 2-1 would get us through, right? Wait, we just got to win. So, I'm gonna go 2-1 as the score because I think with Zlatan back, I feel like Zlatan's always just a pain in the ass at times, and he's gonna like poke some shit in, and it's gonna be really annoying that he gets the goal.
Yeah.
And then in terms of our scores, I think I want to see. So I'm not 100% sure who I believe is fully fit. I think I can believe Cavani and Martial being fit in terms of not injured. I know the guy ex Pogba. I don't know. I don't know if I believe Pogba's fully fit, especially to start. So I'm gonna go with if they're fit. I'm gonna go with Cavani header.
Okay. Respect, Bob. What are you feeling? You're on mute.
Sorry, I think personally we need to score 3 goals because, and hear me out on this. We seem to do this thing where basically, in fact, no, it's just score predictions. Yeah, 3 goals. So I think we need to score 3 goals. As long as we score 3 goals, we win the game and we go through. I do not trust the squeaky bum stuff. Look at the last few games. You know, I'm not confident at all, guys. So I think we just need to score 3 goals. So I'm hoping for 3-0. I hope we keep a clean sheet out there. I mean, 3-0. Yeah.
Bob, you're predicting a 3-0 at San Siro. Everyone, I'm gonna clip this up. If he gets this right up and make sure that Bob's gets the shout out he deserves. So Bob's predicting 3-0. And who is your first goal scorer?
So, you know, I think it's only going to be a couple out of 3 people, isn't it? It's either Bruno, Rashford, or Martial. I hope, from a player's point of view, I hope Martial scores first. Because if he scores first, boy, AC Milan are in trouble. Especially if he scores early.
I agree with that.
Early. He's there in trouble. So yeah. So Martial, Bruno, Rashford, 3-0.
Whew. Unbelievable.
I might bet that actually.
Yeah. At that point, you might as well. Like if you're that confident, you might as well. Rome, what are you feeling, bro?
I'm saying 3-1. We definitely need to win. Honestly, we'll take any score that gets us into the next round, to be honest, but definitely 3-1. I'm with Bibbs and Bobs, man. I can't do this squeaky bum thing. Like the 1-0 victory over West Ham got my PTSD all riled up when I was watching the game. Like these guys are gonna score on me, aren't they? And it was bad. So what I'm looking for is to see a decent away performance. And the only thing that I think we have going for us in this game is that we're not playing at Old Trafford. We've been playing extremely well this season away from home. So we can take that bit of confidence knowing that we can go into Milan and we can do them dirty in Milan. So I'm thinking Dan James is going to get a goal tomorrow because I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing even if Martial is deemed fit. I don't think they'll start Martial. So I think Dan James will be coming in with his energy. Greenwood and Bruno with a PK. Just going to put it all to bed.
Okay.
I'm thinking by the way,
just
the only reason I said 2-1 is because I don't know if we're gonna get 3 goals, guys, with our attack right now.
I just think that AC Milan, listen, AC Milan will be cocky with it. They've got their way goal, they'll come out, and I think they'll look to press us. And what is Oli good at doing?
Counter-attack
football. And in the space of like that goal we scored against Real Sociedad, it happened in 6-7 seconds. Dean Henderson, Fred, Rashford. Was it Rashford, Bruno, goal, whoever scored it, and like, so for me, you are not catching them in a foot race. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? And they're at home. They want to win. So it actually suits the whole theme of this game suits us the way we play. And I just think, I dare you come on to us and leave the gap.
Especially if we score first, they're gonna have to come.
If we score first, they're gonna have to.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So just to oh my goodness, my head. Oh my head. So just to recap, Hama saying 2-1. And who was your first goal scorer?
Cavani with a header. If they're fit.
Cavani with a header. And then Bob said 3-0 with a Martial goal, right?
Yeah.
And to start, and then Rome said 3-1 with what you said, Bruno, right?
Nah, I'm thinking Dan James is gonna get
Dan James.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect. That's a great opinion. 1-0. Everyone drop your score predictions. I'm predicting a 1-1 full time. And I think this is gonna go to penalties. I think this is gonna be one of those.
No.
I do. And I'm saying Manchester United are gonna win at the San Siro on penalties. That is my prediction.
Temi, did you just hear me say I got PTSD, bro?
You know how much I'm gonna have to smoke to handle penalties? Bro.
Why are you trying to get me messed up, bro?
Oh, that's funny as hell, man. That's funny as hell. But that's where my head is going. I don't know why. Oh yeah, we got some. Joel says 2-2. Daniel O'Connor says 2-0. Rashford Donny.
Is Donny even fit?
I don't know if Donny's fit, but that would be.
Yeah, I heard he's coming back. We got 5 people coming back. Is what I heard.
We got
Yeah. But remember when Oli says stuff. Let's just remember this is the same Oli that said Lingard is going to prove himself.
Yeah.
He also said Sanchez was going to come back and prove himself. Lukaku has a say. You know what I mean? So so I see him on the pitch. I ain't saying nothing.
So guys, we finished up the preview portion. Everyone make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to follow all these gentlemen. You see their ads right there on the bottom left. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get to this is the fun part. Bobs, you haven't done this yet. Hama and Rome have. This is where it gets really, really fun. You know what I'm saying? The preview, the Q&A portion, man. The Q&A portion, we get to just talk United for a while here. You know what I'm saying? Answer the questions of the fan base, and and we go from there. I like this one. Fred says, is the appointment of Murtaugh and Fletcher a PR stunt, or is it a clever move that will benefit us going forward? So I'll start, and I'll try and be as quick as possible to go around the horn. I don't think it's a PR stunt. I don't. But that being said, I do think they wanted to get an organization, like a kind of a hierarchy going. But Ollie said this in his most recent press conference, if I'm not mistaken. he already talks to Murtaugh every day. You know, he talks to Fletcher every day. I don't think much is really going to change the way we think it's going to change. You know what I'm saying? Like Murtaugh's not going to have any more or less power than he already did. Obviously, Fletcher's getting a big bump, you know, from an assistant coach to technical director. But not much is going to change, honestly. Like, I really don't see much changing at all, for lack of a better term. So, no, I don't think it's a PR stunt, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to necessarily benefit us as much as we think it will. Hama, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think it was a PR stunt. The thing that came to mind was like, that's not an Ed Woodward PR stunt, right? Like fucking Schweinsteiger, that was a goddamn PR stunt, right? This is, I mean, he's done some things, right, in terms of what he did, what he's done with the youth, and also with the women's side. So you know, it's a question to see if he can do it at this level. But what I will say is that I think it has a potential to benefit us in the sense of it might help with the communication and the relationships when we're getting into the the actual transfer market and the deals and trying to get things done in a more efficient way. Because I think that's one of the things that everybody really hates about, besides the obvious shit that they all really suck at doing in that executive room, is that how long deals take, right? It always comes down to like end of the transfer window, or we have to wait till the next one, you know, with Bruno, for example. But yeah, that's what I think. I think it's going to potentially help us if that relationship thing can help when it comes to with the final deals and the communication process.
Yeah. Bob, what do you feel about that?
I think the reason why people may say it's a PR stunt is because it's not who we want in the appointments. I think if he had came up with the guy from Sevilla and it was Overmars or Van der Sar, I think there would have been a lot of positivity. But because it's Darren Fletcher and Myrtle, everyone's just thinking, what is this? Now, it's like saying you want steak, but you get given chicken Kiev, you know? So basically, I think it is going to benefit us. Look, we always want structure. We've got the structure now. Now, you know, let's shut up and see what happens. Give these two guys a chance. You know, we don't know the conversations that happen behind. So let's, you know, as all fans that support Man United, let's support them because we want them to succeed. You know, at the end of the day, flipping Van der Sar over Mars didn't really have any football technical advice experience on that. They went into the job. So yeah, man, I hope they do well. Seriously.
Yeah. Rome, how you feeling?
I'm sorry. I disagree in so many different ways. And here's why. Here's my argument. The people that got us into the mess that we are in currently from 2012 are still there. If you realize, Matt Judge, his position hasn't changed. His title has, but his position hasn't. Matt Judge is still responsible for negotiations. So we still have the people who gave Phil Jones a 6-year contract. The people who let Fellaini's buyout clause expire and then buy him for double the cost. We still have the people who let Ander Herrera leave for free. They're still in that same position. We still have, and you got to remember, Ed Woodward, his sole purpose is to make money for the Glazers. That's the job of a CEO, which is to make sure that your shareholders make money. When these guys go into negotiations, we have a director of football and we have a technical director, and these guys identify players that they need. They're not the ones doing the negotiations. Matt Judge is. So when Matt Judge goes in, he's not going in to say, I need this player from Manchester United. He's going in to say, I need to spend at least money as possible for my shareholders, because he's beholden to his classmate, which is Ed Woodward, and Ed Woodward is beholden to the Glazers. So giving these guys the positions is just basically pissing on my head and telling me it's raining, because now you're telling me, hey, you know what? You have a director of football now. So now when shit hits a fan, we're not looking at the Glazers. We're not looking at Ed Woodward. We're looking at Mr. Murtaugh, and we're looking at Fletcher, wondering why is it that Chelsea beat us to Holland and paid 60 mil for him? Wondering why didn't we buy? Why is it that Sancho's still not here? Why is Ndidi not? Why we don't have Ndidi? Or why is it that we don't have Declan Rice? We're asking all those questions because now we can't speak to Ed Woodward. No one is putting up at his gate and throwing shit at his gate no more because we can blame Mr. Murtaugh.
Interesting.
That's how I see it.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I definitely see that point of view. I saw a lot of people were giddy when we got a director, like, you know, when the announcement happened. I wasn't giddy. I was just like, okay, it's good that we have that title now at the club, at least, or it's football director. I think that's what they're terming it. You know, just to be more specific. But yeah, I'm not that giddy, but we'll move on. We'll move on. Fun question here from Anirudh Iyer says, would you rather splurge the entire summer budget on a striker like Erling Haaland for 120 million plus, or get Sancho and the ball progressing DM? The first thing I will say is that the chances of us spending 100 million pounds net this summer are slim to none. I would be stunned. So to just answer your question, I don't think any of those things are going to happen. I don't think we're going to get Sancho and then Ndidi, or we're going to get Haaland. I just don't think we're playing at that level. Let's just call a spade a spade. If we get I do think we could get Sancho. I really think that they do want to make a marquee signing. I do think they want to make a marquee signing. I think Sancho's going to be that, you know, marquee signing. But don't expect too much else. Like, really, do not expect too much else. We might see another free signing we didn't expect, like Cavani, a low-level thing. But I would just say, to answer the question, would I rather? I'll say I want Sancho and a DM. No questions asked. Like 30 times over. 30 times over. Hamo, what do you say to that?
Yeah, so I understand what everyone's talking about now with Haaland, and I also think it's a little bit of what United does when the transfer window starts getting close. But what I will say is, let's say just to have the thought, say we did get Haaland, I don't think he would stay here for a very long time. I think he would come here, try to win some stuff, but at some point he'd want to go and do something somewhere else. I don't know why I get that feeling. I don't think he'll come to United and spend 10 years here. You know what I'm saying? Sancho will. So I'm going to go with that second one with Sancho and a DM. One, because I think we need the balance in our attack, and two, because I think that would solve so much shit in our midfield issues.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Bob, what do you think?
Balance, guys, balance. Okay. We've not replaced Ronaldo. Okay. I'm just putting it out there. We've not replaced Ronaldo. Give West Ham Lingard, drop 50 million, get Declan Rice. That frees up this whole McFred nonsense. Okay. And now let's go get Sancho. Or let's go get a competent, exciting right winger. Let's help out the other players in this team. Okay. And then let's if you think about it, it's all about balance. If we get Declan Rice, for example, it frees up McFred. We don't need them both in there. They can be on the bench. Okay. And then you put Pogba and Bruno there. Then you have a right winger. You know, it's very, very easy. And listen, the way Lingard's going, for me personally, I want him to play well because it means his value goes up. He's English. Let's not forget that. So, yeah, man.
Man, if anyone spends more than 20 million pounds on Jesse Lingard,
No. But think about look at the politics, right? Look at the politics. Edward Wood is a banker. Okay, he's not stupid. Lingard carries on the form he has right now, 30 million. Okay. And now we'll see. No, I'm being honest. He's played in the World Cup. Look at the said. He cup finals. He scores cup final goals. He scores goals. Okay. I'm struggling to wheel off even more positivity about this guy, but to hear me out, okay. He is on form right now, and he's effective for West Ham.
I agree.
Okay. So let's spin it. Just say we'll give you him and 50 million plus Declan Rice.
I agree. I mean, man, if we could get 30 million for Jesse Lingard, man, shit.
Romeo on mute.
Bobs, let me help you out real quick. Don't even worry about it. I got you. You say you're struggling to pull out superlatives for Lingard. Let me tell you how you said the same thing that I was about to say with this. We can get Sancho and a ball-playing midfielder. We can spend the money for Sancho, and we can exploit West Ham's desire to get Lingard, to get Declan Rice. And I'll tell you why. Lingard doesn't just come with improvement in their team. Lingard comes with a social media following that could raise West Ham's value so much. They're not going to pay just for Lingard, the player. They're paying for Lingard, the brand, the English player, the one who scored a World Cup goal, the one who scored a FA Cup Finals goal. Lingard, the one who dribbled out the entirety of Watford's midfield to go score. We're talking about Jesse Lingard, who's an English player who has the ability, and possibly, if he continues like this, could get into the English team probably above above a whole lot of players that they're calling up right now. So if you go to, that's why we need competent people doing our negotiations, and we must admit the ones that have been doing it for the past 8 years it's not much to write home about, bruv. So if we get people in the negotiations to say, listen, I know you want Lingard, this is how much we value him as. Let's talk about Declan, right? Let's talk about Lingard and 45 mil for Declan Rice in this Corona era. I'm pretty sure we could make it happen, right? So
I wish. See, all of this is logical and it makes sense. But the reason I disagree is because it makes sense. We don't think that makes sense.
Right. We gotta stop thinking about. We gotta stop thinking about Lingard as a Lingard, the Manchester United player, but think about Lingard fitting in someone else's team. Right now, he doesn't fit for Man United, but look how awesome he's been for West Ham.
Lingard will never sign for West Ham on a permanent. Lingard still has them. Where do you think he's gonna go? Where ugly bear? Where do you think he's gonna
know what though? But the thing is, you need to remember, Lingard goes into that change room as a serial winner, and when I say that, I can only emphasize that. The players in West Ham, I don't really know them too tough that have won trophies the way Lingard has. You know, we're talking about an education from Man United. You know, he's went out on loan, he scored goals. This is a guy who's won cup finals, FA Cup, League Cup, Europa League. He scored in the World Cup. He got to the semi-finals of the World Cup. You know, tell me a player that's on his level if we're talking like that at West Ham.
None of them. He goes into West Ham's team as a leader.
Right now, London is claret and blue. So
yeah, exactly. They're the best team in London right now. And he loves life in London. You got to remember, Lingard likes the flair. He likes the flair lifestyle. And you guys know better than I do that London is that place that gives you all that.
Yeah. And another thing I will say real quick, too, is I think this also goes to a little bit of y'all United fans need to stop with the sentimental shit. Let the guy go have a career. He's not going to get into the United team.
Yeah.
Let him go play somewhere. He's playing well. He fits into the team. Let him go.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree with that. And I won't add on to that because I want to get to the next question. This is a question from Shady Will. How can we get Martial and Greenwood firing again? And what do you think caused the fall off? Okay, this is an amazing question. One, I think for Greenwood, I'll start with him. People learn. You know, it's like a scouting report. All right, he scored 17 goals last year. How do we stop him? Get tight on him. You know, he's a one-trick pony. Let's be frank. When he's on the right, you know what he wants to do.
Step overs.
He wants to step over, and he wants to shoot. Now we saw against West Ham. I mean, he was playing through the middle, so it's a little bit different. But you know, he came short, put some crosses into the box. That's the issue with Greenwood right there. I think people just kind of figured out the book on him at that level. For Martial specifically, I am so confident that it's more of a system thing than anything. We don't create enough chances. I'll just be completely blunt. He has not been his fit and firing best. But last season, if you look at his, you know, all those fancy stats people talk about, like GA, all that stuff, he was so clinical. That's why he scored the level of goals he did. Not because we were creating tons of chances. He was just clinical. Was just absolutely clinical last season. So I think it's more of a system thing. We play with inverted wingers. You know what I'm saying? We have two guys on the wings who want to shoot, not cross. So as Cavani, everyone raves about Cavani. He hasn't scored that many goals. He hasn't. Like even when he's played, he doesn't. He's starved. So I think it's more of a system thing than anything. Greenwood, I think it's more of he's not playing in his preferred position, and he needs to add some dimensions to his game. Like, and that's not a slight. He's 8. What is he? 19 now? He's 19 years old. He needs to add some more things to his game if he wants to take it to that level of where we're saying, okay, he's scoring 20 goals a season, easy. I'll switch it up and start with Rome on this one. Rome, what do you think about that?
I think we are a little bit too harsh on Greenwood. We're not remembering that this is the second season. Mm-hmm. And also Greenwood came into the team not playing the position that he played when he was under 23s and the 18s. He came in on the right wing. And now the rest of the league has caught up to the type of player that he is. Get tied to him. He can go left or right. So once you get tied with him, he's not going to go anywhere. So Greenwood will come. This is the second season as a young player. So I think he will come. For Martial, I have mixed feelings. At first I thought maybe because he didn't have a boot sponsor why he was playing so shit. But then he finally got his boot sponsor. So I'm thinking, all right, when was Martial at his best? Martial was at his best when he was cheating on his girl. And he was on Snapchat asking for all sorts of ass. So we need to get that Martial back. I'm sorry, Mrs. Martial, but you need to do something. Because I thought at first that this was possibly because they didn't have a preseason, right? So I used that as the excuse. They didn't have a preseason. Martial is the type of player that needs a preseason. But I'm not seeing. We just started recently seeing things from Martial that we saw last season or the season before. Maybe he's coming into his own right now, and I'm hoping that's the reason. Maybe he's coming into his own right now, but I can't defend him anymore.
Bobs, how you feeling about that?
I think I'll start on Greenwood. I think Greenwood, we can see what he can do. I think we just need to let Greenwood just express himself. You know, he's a one-trick pony. We know that. The shuffle, drop back, and then shoot. I think for Greenwood, he needs to realize he's playing with men now. You know, you can't just do that and score. You know, men will literally push you over, shoulder barge you, get physical. So you can say he needs to develop more areas of his game. And I think the way we do that is by the coaches. We need to help him coach. We need to show him a different picture of the pitch. Show him a different picture of how he's playing. And regarding Martial, I think the jury's out for Martial, personally, in my case. I like him. I just think he's been with us for 6 years now. Anytime there seems to be another character that plays up front, you struggle. So I'm not even worried about your ability because we know how brilliant you are. It's your mentality when there's competition. That's what I'm worried about. And, you know, I'm going to quickly spin this off, When I say mentality of Man United, people, I think the younger fans, the younger generation forget that, like, we had players like John O'Shea, Nicky Butt, Darren Fletcher, Quinton Fortune, Park Ji-sung, who was a bowler. Their mentality was Man United level. They knew what they had to do to perform. And I think to myself, these guys were playing behind excellent world-class midfielders. But anytime they played for us, they performed. Now, with Martial, I'm thinking, that's brilliant, Zlatan, Lukaku, Cavani. Go and show them why you should be playing. And I think he doesn't do that enough.
Interesting.
So I can't really answer, how do we get him firing? Get rid of Cavani? Maybe get him into a nice mental space. But I don't know. I think he needs to have a conversation with himself, what he wants to do and how he wants to affect the game. That's my
Just like on Snapchat.
This guy put this somewhere. I was like,
I wasn't
what?
ready for that, man.
This man Rome's crazy, man. Anyway, what do you think about that?
So y'all took a little bit of what I was gonna say myself. You know, I think with Martial, it's definitely a mentality thing. I think a little bit of two things. I think the bullshit that happened earlier in the season with people messaging his wife and shit like that. I'm just saying, I don't got kids and shit, but I obviously got family. I got my niece and nephews. Man, are you crazy? Don't message my fucking family. That's some ignorant shit. So I think that affected his mentality earlier in the season. And I think now what's affecting his mentality is that he just hasn't been seeing the ball go in the back of the net, you know? So I think it's a mentality thing with Martial. And if he can't fix it, I think his days are unfortunately numbered. And what I wanted to say on Greenwood is, and I'm going to use a little bit of an NBA term, and Temi might like this. It's his second year. He's having a sophomore slump, right? The people figured him out, and then also to get to the point of he's 19, like I think Temi mentioned or someone else mentioned, he needs to bulk up. Y'all remember how skinny Marcus was when he came in? Greenwood needs to get in the weight room, bulk up, and I know somebody else did this too because he's playing with grown-ass men. It's like going from college to the pros over here in the States. You're going from playing with 18, 19, 20-year-olds with grown-ass men who are doing this for a living to feed their family. It's a different game.
Fascinating conversation. I'm going to get to the next question. This is a fun one. We can be quick with this. If you could have any person from another sport be good at football and play for United, who would it be? So this is interesting because what this is technically saying is like, I get what you're trying to say here. Take an athlete, take that athlete's traits, make him good at football, right? Who would you want as that athlete? I think this one's easy for me. I'm just going to say Usain Bolt. Could you imagine if Usain Bolt, with his qualities, was good at football? Like,
on the right way.
Who's stopping that?
ignorant
It's
speed.
it's like, I'm sorry, it's Usain Bolt. I like Connor's take on Roger Federer. Smart, you know, he would be like a attacking midfielder, like of the '90s, you know, just graceful and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's Usain Bolt, and I'm not even hesitating. That pace, it just literally just throw him up there and just say, "Have fun, bro."
Yo, can I say mine's? I already know mine's right now.
Bob said,
Tom Brady.
Ooh, but what position?
Because we had a player like him, David Beckham, regarding accuracy, pinpoint. If we could have another someone like that, man, with the front three we have, boy.
I don't think you've ever seen Tom Brady run 40-yard dash. I'll send you a video. I'll send you a video of Tom Brady.
Accuracy.
I get what you're saying, bro.
I know.
Tom Brady's athleticism is.
No, but I'm talking about his skills. If you could have another person from a sport and be good at football, so she's not saying the person that's asked the question. I'm saying to you, if I was to get Tom Brady and he had his passing skills in football, bear in mind we have McFred that can't pass 5 yards. Please remember that. Okay, so yeah, that's me, man.
Okay,
fascinating. Rome, what do you say to that?
Of course, you took my Usain Bolt Jamaican connection, so I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. But definitely Kobe Bryant would be my next pick. And the reason why I would say I would need Kobe Bryant to me, his work ethic, his skill, his determination, he reminds me of Cristiano Ronaldo so much, and he's a Cristiano Ronaldo of basketball. If we had that at Man United, we would not be losing these 1-0 games. We would not be squeaking our bums every time we get to the last 90 minutes, hoping that we can get past them. So I think Kobe Bryant, everything about him just says he can be the best in everything that he does.
That's a great point. He has a history with football too. He grew up in Italy.
Yeah, he grew up in Italy. Yeah,
he loves soccer, man. Rest in peace to the great Kobe Bryant. Everyone knows how I feel about him, man. Legend, absolute legend. Let's see.
My guy.
Go ahead.
I know people actually aren't gonna like this if you do know about where he gets involved in football, but a little bit to go for what Rome said. I'm going with LeBron James, even though he's a fucking part owner of Liverpool. And the reason for that is his obviously his physical athleticism that everybody knows. His ability to have the knowledge of the sport that he's the best at is ridiculous. I'm try to say this story real fast. I remember seeing an NBA player talk about him, and he said they came out of a timeout, so they're on different ends on the court, so they don't know what play they just drew up. And LeBron had watched so much film on their team. They started lining up, and the guy who he was guarding was telling the story. He goes, "No, man, you got to line up there because he's going to set a screen for him, and he's going to run back to the top of the key for a shot." And the guy was like, "Yeah, that was the exact play we're about to do." Like that's insane.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. LeBron James, one of my favorite basketball players. Actually, he might be my favorite basketball player right now. I can't even lie. He's amazing. A fun question from Stu, my guy. What's the best goal you have scored whilst playing the game we all love? Wow. Okay. So this is a fun one. I only played one organized year of football, aka soccer, where me and my boys my boys live. You know what I'm saying? And that one season, I had 21 goals, 1 assist. 21 goals. I'll never forget it. This was like a lower level. I wasn't, I wasn't all that. I'm just, I had a decent season. I'm trying to think of the best goal I scored that season. That's a tough one. It was probably off of a corner, and I think I just volleyed it. Like, I was young. I didn't have any special skill or technique. I just off a corner, long, caught it well, and it went top bins. I think that was the only. I was a Chicharito. I'm not gonna lie. That was me. I was literally nothing more but headers, scruffy goals. That was my game. I was Chicharito. I can't even lie. So that was the one goal I really remember that I said, okay, yeah, this was a really damn good goal. Hama, you were a center back. I think you've told us that before, bro. So
yeah,
you didn't get many goals, did you?
No, so yeah, I did. So I switched to American football going into high school, and I became an offensive lineman. But so are we also talking like only organized? Because like I've also played a lot of pickup with some really good players.
That's fair. That's fair.
So one of the goals that I scored was from center back too, because my team was pissing me off a little bit. So I asked the goalie to roll it out to me, turned and started heading up the field, got through one person, did a give and go with a teammate, past the midfield line and then launched it to my winger on the left side, and I kept running to the front post. He crossed it in, and I one-touched it. I mean, it wasn't far out because it was on the near post, but I one-touched it and damn it, I'm blanking on the word now. And I volleyed it, but it was only from a few yards away, like right past the goalie's hand into the top corner. But that was a fun goal.
Bobs, I know you play with plenty of Niger boys in your day. Let me know, what was your
best goal ever scored? So I actually used to play full-time football professionally, and I've done not bad. I've won quite a lot of trophies in Scotland. I think probably the best goal for me personally, on a personal level, was when playing semi-pro for a club, Honeston, and it was basically I played centre midfield, and it was a horrible game in the sense that we were getting beat 1-0. I couldn't, and my touch was rubbish. I just couldn't settle, and then we got a free kick from like 25 yards out, and I picked the ball up, and the manager, the coach is like, "What are you doing?" Like, even my colleague in centre mid was like, "You sure?" I was like, "Just give me the ball." I literally done the whole Ronaldo chest out, and then I just done this like I always do this. I do a crisscross with my foot, and then walk out slowly, and I just pinged it top left corner, and then I just ran towards to our dugout, and I was screaming. And the reason that was for me, like I could tell you about goals I've scored professionally in cup finals, but for me, it was the best goal because I was playing really, really bad up until that time, and I knew I was probably going to come off at halftime. So I ended up winning 4-2. So yeah, that's one of the best goals I've ever scored.
Wow. Rome, how about you?
Man, I've played a lot of football, so I've been sitting over here thinking about which one was the best to tell you guys. But I played under 17 for Jamaica. I played collegiate football in Jamaica. I came over here on a soccer scholarship, as you guys call it. Played here for college. I played for the Baltimore Bohemians, which was kind of like a semi-pro team here in Baltimore. But the best goal I've scored was actually a year and a half ago in a Sunday league down in Patterson Park. We were leading 3-0, and my team just kept leaking goals, and the guys came back 3-3, and it was the last play of the game. Ball came over from the left side. I had a bad touch on the right foot that put the ball directly up above me, just like this. It was set up so perfect for an overhead kick. Top of the box, overhead kick in the corner, top corner. It was the sweetest hit I've ever had. You remember that Rooney overhead kick that you just saw it?
Yeah.
It was. I got calls from that day after day from that goal. It was the sweetest hit I've ever had. Never forget it.
Wow. Man, that's lit. That's lit. Under 7. Hey, Rome, you're in Baltimore?
Yeah, bro.
Oh my God.
These are the Ravens. I'm like, no.
This man's literally 25 minutes away from me, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's hilarious.
That's not close to I'm in Virginia.
Oh, where are you? What part of Virginia?
I'm close to Richmond.
Oh, okay.
Wow. It's a little deep.
Richmond.
Oh, you that box over there,
bro. You ever heard of the Patterson Park? Yeah. You know about the league in Patterson Park, bro.
All-Free United is being taken over. The American conglomerate right here taking over All-Free United. You're gonna have to deal with us today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Crazy. That's crazy. But dang. Let's look at the comments real quick about the question on who we think the athlete question. So Usain Bolt, Tyson Fury at center back. Oh my gosh,
that's deadly.
I don't know if we need him knocking people out. That would be a red card.
LeBron James is a keeper. Yeah, LeBron James. If he grew
that
up,
wouldn't be fair.
Like he would be the best keeper ever. I'm so confident about that. 6'8". Oh no one's. Yeah, just that's ridiculous. Fury at center back would be mad. I saw a question I wanted to touch on real quick. It was a really good question. Really. What would you? I think we'll end on this one. Just so we can wrap up already over an hour. What would y'all conceive as significant progress from last season? For me, it's second plus silverware. Anirudh, I 100% agree with you. One, I think I said this on the last stream I was on. We need to definitely improve on that 66 points. That is a must. Like, I don't want to see, and I think it needs to be like in the 75 range. I don't know if that's attainable, but I want to see higher than 66 points. stay in second, and we have to win a trophy, 100%. That's the only thing I would consider progress. A trophy and top 4, technically, right? But at this point at this point of the season, I think second and silverware is necessary, or we're not making progress. I'll be completely blunt with you. Hama, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think second and silverware too, and I think not top 4. It has to be second, right? I think we're in a position to keep second, and it goes back to what we talked about. I think a good amount on this show, like this show right now tonight, about the mentality thing. You know, I want to see them have the strength to hold that position, and I want to see them have the mental strength to go and lift some silverware.
Fair enough. Bob, what do you say about that?
Yeah, I agree with it has to be second. Second, you have to consolidate second for me, and silverware, man, 100%.
Oh, easy money. Rome, you agree?
Not necessarily. I know you guys are not surprised, but no. I think more important than second and silverware is not capitulating for the rest of the season. I remember last season when we had that massive run to get to like 4 or 5 games, and then we struggled to get the finish line. So mentally, you guys mentioned the mentality of the boys. Getting past these 2 cup semifinals is so important, because you guys know as footballers that, you know, that mental struggle to get past that semifinals to get into a final is going to be important. So I think, yes, we want to come second, but we don't want to capitulate and watch City run and win the league by 15, 20 points. So I think that's important. Let's make sure we stay firm and get these last couple of wins.
Yeah, 100%. Completely agree with that. Maybe we should ask one more question, just because I feel like that one was anticlimactic. Does Wayne Rooney get a statue outside Old Trafford? No, he's a Scouser. It's just never ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, he's a Scouser. I know this. I love Wayne Rooney. I mean, if you're in your 20s, 30, like, he's one of you. He's probably always in someone's top 10, you know, of players. But Wayne Rooney to get a statue outside of Old Trafford.
Do you know what? It's a good question, because actually, to be fair, okay, Arsenal gave Henry and Bergkamp and I think Tony Adams, and you need to look at what Wayne Rooney actually done for Man United. But I'm with you on the Scouser part. I'm like, nah, bro.
Can I just say this too, just to be a little fun with the banter?
It's a good question, because top goal scorer, he won every trophy at Man United. Yeah. Every trophy. And, you know, it's something.
Let me put it this way. If they had a Hall of Fame, he'd had a Hall of Fame career. Does he have a statue outside the Old Trafford career? I don't know. And also, you said Arsenal and them did it. Yeah, that's Arsenal and them.
There you go.
Look at the people who have the statues outside of Old Trafford.
Yeah, they could give him like the away dressing rooms. Put his name on the away dressing room door, or maybe name the bathroom off of him. But I don't think he should be like a statue outside.
Listen, like, and this isn't even. Come on, everyone loves Wayne Rooney, man. But it's just, let's leave the Scouser thing out of it. It's like, there's so many Manchester United legends you could put in front of Old Trafford. Like, I still haven't been to Old Trafford. My dream is to get there one day. I can't wait.
Both, bro.
Bro, I got a fucking passport. I got British citizenship. Like, I should have been over it.
You have British citizenship. Wow. Well, you know, I got two. I'm Nigerian citizen, American citizen. Getting there is not going to be difficult. Not once life opens back up, as we hope it will. But it's Wayne Rooney, man.
Oh, none of y'all are in England, so you can't answer this question.
Yeah,
I'm in Scotland.
But that whole Brexit shit, does that fuck up the color of my passport? Like, do I got to get a new passport?
A lot of people are applying for their Irish passport because it's going to be easier to move around Europe.
Yeah.
So I
guess we're going to Scotland first. You better get your basement ready.
Yeah, basically. Come support Rangers.
Yeah, no. We're gonna wrap. Hey, what a show, man! What a show. We're gonna wrap up real quick. Hey, Bobs, I appreciate you so much, bro. Rome, I appreciate you so much, bro. Yes, sir. Hama, appreciate you so much, man. What a show. Great time as always. That's why I love doing the preview Q&A show. It's just good vibes, great conversation about Manchester United. You feel me? And we always keep it real. That's when, if I'm hosting a show, you best believe the people on the panel are going to keep it real at all times. So I appreciate that. Everyone in the comments, we appreciate you. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the the conversation. We had so many great debates, but we got to win on Thursday. At the end of the day, we have to win on Thursday. I don't want to hear no excuses. We need to get through. If we don't get through, man, oh my, the mood of the fan base, it's going to be a dark couple of weeks. I cannot lie. I cannot lie. We got to get that win. Got to get that win. Appreciate you, Jacob. I see you in the comments, bro. Appreciate you, Ugly Bear. I see you in the comments. Thank you all so much. We're going to wrap it up real quick. As always, take it easy, everyone. I will see y'all very, very shortly. Deuces.